What's up, everybody? I'm Matrix Andrea, and this is Dark Souls 2 New Game 2, and today we're going to be doing No Man's Wharf. So I'm going to show my stats, and then we'll get started. As before, level 175, and that's what I'm going to be at for this entire playthrough, because there's no real reason to level up any more than that. Even if I was going to, I would only raise my Vigor up to 99, and the benefits are real low for that. And a lot of people over-level, and it just decreases what your build actually is, so I wanted to stick to something specific, which is a Hexer build, so we're just going to stay at level 175 for the entire playthrough. Quick look at my equipment, which is prone to be switched out. And some of those rings are going to get replaced as I move on, that way I can get the better versions. First thing about No Man's Wharf is that it's really, really dark here, but not dark enough to really be a problem. What really surprises me about playing it now in 2016 after Dark Souls 3's release is that there's still so many bloodstains here. So I guess there are still a few people playing it here and there. There are some torch sconces that you can light up, but most of the time there's no point to do that, so I'm not going to bother. Oh boy. I can't remember all of the enemy placements here, so there's another high probability that I'm going to get myself killed. This is one of the NPCs that you can summon, Bradley of the Old Guard. He's a faith character, uses a few healing spells and some lightning spells, and if you get hurt, he'll cast the healing spell just so that you can use it. So I usually summon him if I run through here as a human. I think the computer NPCs are actually a really cool touch for this game. They even do gestures and things like human players, just in case you get stuck playing offline. So you got a guy hiding up here that you got to be careful about. Yeah, I should have been blocking when that happened. And Bradley likes to use Force. That's a spell that I never really did. Even though it does have its uses for trolling and everything else that you can do. Well, basically regarding trolling. A dog hiding up here in the dark. And Lucatiel up here, so I'm going to edit the dialogue out, so give me just a sec. I'll summon Lucatiel again and well, at the boss fight in this area, but you run into her again in the Lost Bastille. So I'll show that area when I get to that spot. Thought there used to be a guy hiding in that doorway there, but it's been a while since I played the vanilla version of this game, so I cannot actually remember. And I'm pretty sure it's pointless to go up that staircase. I don't think there's anything up there but a dead end, so I'm just going to keep moving. Although, yeah, through here there's a place where you can use a Pharaoh stone and light up the whole area, so I am going to do that. As long as Bradley's with me, he can help draw some of the aggro from these enemies. You'll notice that the enemies are shooting flame arrows and they're throwing oil urns at you, so if you get hit while you're soaked with oil, you explode. Gotta be real careful there. Yeah, and there goes Bradley healing me again. Really, really cool. Yeah. He's a shade, so he doesn't last very long. And it lights up the whole area. There's a nice little trick here. Over here in the corner, there's one of these invisible hollows. I just gotta find where he is. Yeah, there he is. Kill him, and he drops these smooth and silky stones. So I'm gonna run up the stairs in this house and kill what's up here. And then I'll move on. I always thought it was kind of funny that these zombie guys needed to sleep. That used to be the only shortcut to get through here once you get to the other side, but From added another really good shortcut, a useful shortcut that I'm going to open up later. That said, one of the things I absolutely used to hate about No Man's Wharf was that there was no easy way to get back to the bonfire, so your commonly used weapons' durability would run out real fast, like mine is right now, and you'd have no choice but to switch to something that wasn't upgraded quite as high, and that would be real problematic when you got down near the end. But I got a bunch of repair powders, so it doesn't matter. So I'll take care of this guy, and I'm going to pop one of them so I can get my durability back on the sword. Yeah, I don't like the durability system in this game. It runs out way too fast for you to be able to fight effectively. Gavilin's not up in that building anymore, so I'm not going to bother going into that house. I don't feel like fighting those dark guys. Are kind of hard to fight with. You roll through their attacks and you still build up bleed, and then they don't stagger easily. It's hard to backstab them, so I'm going to skip that place. I've heard people say that you can shoot this bell from long range with a bow, but I've never tried that, so I wasn't even going to waste my time trying, because I probably wouldn't have hit it anyway. But when you ring the bell, that boat lights up and it drives over here so that we can go to the Lost Bastille. I was kind of hoping that he would reveal himself so I could shoot him with Dark Orb, but I guess he didn't want to play along. Shit, I forgot about that ninja guy. Those ninjas used to only show up during New Game Plus versus the boss battle in this area, so people used to burn bonfire ascetics just to get the chance to get their shadow gear. But in the regular version of Scholar, they're just hanging on the sides and hiding from you the way ninjas do. You can see the boards on the floor, suspicious, so that's a secret wall. I'll go in here and pick this stuff up. And there's Gavlin. I'll edit this part out. You can find him at 3 different spots in the game, and once he moves to the last spot, he never moves again. He's the only vendor in the game that will buy junk items off of you, so you can build up souls if you really need them. I like to buy poison arrows off of him in the 3rd spot because he has an infinite supply, and it's a good way to cheese a lot of the enemies in the DLC areas. In the original game, this was, I believe this is the spot where you found Lucatiel, but, I mean, there's that shortcut that I showed at the beginning, which was helpful but not very good compared to the one that Scholar added in, which I'll open up in a few minutes. Because I got the lights on, those guys are afraid to come out, so I'm not even going to bother fighting with them. And you can see the hands where these guys are hanging onto the side. I'm going to try to shoot him off. Yeah, there you go. Carillion of the Fold is over there. Can talk to him and get him to move back to Majula. I might go over there and buy a Simpleton Spice so I can spice down one of my spells. I don't use too many sorceries, but there's one of the hexes that has a higher intelligence requirement that I wanted to use. This is the useful shortcut. It takes you straight back to the beginning. And I was really glad that they added this one in with Scholar. So yeah, let me go talk to Carillion, and I'll edit this part out, so give me just a sec. Alright, so now we can move on straight to the boss. I'm going to kill the enemies on the boat, and then I'm going to summon Lucatiel, because in New Game Plus, you get 2 of those ninja guys that drop out of the side. While some people are good at fighting multiple enemy fights, I am not. And I don't think that the Dark Souls or any of the Souls games work well with those kinds of boss fights, so anytime that happens, I summon an NPC just as a distraction, so that I don't have to do everything by myself and just risk dying from it. It's not foolproof, but I mean, it decreases the chances of me getting killed quite a bit, so I am going to do that. So we got this guy here. This guy wears the Horus armor. Back in the vanilla version of the game, he was the only NPC that would spawn that had this armor set, and I used to hear stories on the internet about people just using Bonfire Ascetic after Bonfire Ascetic trying to get him to drop his armor. And it was just a real mess. When I originally played through this game up to New Game 10, I eventually got the whole set without using Bonfire Ascetics, and I mean, it was up in the 10th cycle when I finally got the last piece, so you can see how much of a hassle that was. You can get the entire Visible Horus set in the gutter, and I'll probably show where that is, but I can't guarantee. I won't know if I feel like doing that until I actually get to the area. I'm going to take a minute to crap on Dark Souls 2 again. It did so many things wrong in the original release of the game. Scholar does a lot of things wrong too, but it fixed certain other annoying things, like putting full armor sets down so that it was easy for people to get them. Hearing those stories about people burning so many Bonfire Ascetics just to get certain types of gear. Let me rephrase that. Burning Bonfire Ascetics so they'd get a chance at having a piece of gear dropping wasn't fair. That was bullshit. And I think I'll use the Lightning Claymore because we're going to be in the water. Alright. That worked out better than I thought it would. Lucatiel didn't jump in quite as fast as I wanted her to, though. Take too long in that boss fight and the room starts to fill up with water and you go a little bit slower while you're trying to move around, so it pays to finish it as fast as you can. You come up in here, that chest that's in front of me, it used to be behind you, so a lot of people would run over here and hit this thing and they would go to the Lost Bastille and never even know about it, and when they found out they'd have to run all the way back through No Man's Wharf to pick it up. The Pyro Glove is in there, and I think the Fireball spell. I'm going to run up to the bonfire in the first cell and then I'll end the episode there. I think when I start the Lost Bastille episode, I'll actually do it from the other bonfire so that I can get the fragrant branch of gore that's in the area that you get from the other side. Then once I get finished over there, I'll just warp back to the front and start from the front side. I think that'll do for this episode. Thanks for coming with, and I'll see everybody again next time.